let's welcome the MEC of Gauteng, Human Settlement and Planning, together with the Premier of Gauteng, Makhura. So we'll allow the Premier to read through the statement, and then after that, we can then actually ask questions. Premier, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen from the media. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We called this media briefing to announce the course of action we are taking to deal with the current situation in Tshwane, what we call the collapse of governance in the City of Tshwane. During the State of the Province address delivered on the 1st of June, should I start? Okay. During the State of the Province address delivered on the 1st of June in 2019, I indicated that as we start the new term of the 6th administration, the Gauteng provincial government is going to adopt a more proactive approach to dealing with local government, particularly to intervene decisively in municipalities where and when wrong things are happening in those municipalities. I particularly said the following: going forward, we are going to be more proactive and interventionist in order to improve oversight and support municipalities in the province. The cautious approach is not working because things are going wrong in both small and big municipalities, and residents are suffering. So this is what I said in the State of the Province address in July last year. Over the past 7 months since that first State of the Province address of the 6th administration, the Gauteng provincial government has been engaging with all municipalities proactively, and I want to emphasize proactively, on matters pertaining to sustainable service delivery, good governance, sound financial management, and institutional stability. A lot of this the MEC has been doing media briefings about, including that he has appointed a panel of experts that has been reviewing what needs to be done in every municipality. So there's been a very proactive, he has been to all municipalities. He has been writing to municipalities where there are allegations of corruption, getting them to account on those, but he has also been getting municipalities that have real institutional difficulties to take a specific course of action. And he's come to the Provincial Executive Council in every sitting to report to us on what's happening in that municipality, what we need to do in each of those municipalities. So this is something we've really been doing much more than we have done before. So in the City of Tshwane, it is clear that the deterioration has been rapid and evident in terms of the decline of that municipality. And to this effect, a number of reports have come to the fore. One of those reports is the Auditor General's reports, including the latest one, as well as the Gauteng City Region Observatory. The last report of the Gauteng City Region Observatory showed the decline of the City of Tshwane, and a number of interventions have followed. On the 6th of December, as a result of those, the Provincial Executive Council took a decision to institute Section 1391A intervention, again, which was announced by the MEC, and at that time misunderstood by many to be putting the municipality under administration. Section 1391A was about issuing clear directives to the municipality about what needs to be done to correct the flagrant disregard of both the Constitution and the law governing the operations of municipalities. And in this statement, we are going to outline some of those issues. So this was the first intervention, Section 1391A, to say the municipality needs to do certain things to correct those specific issues identified. The December intervention was preceded by the implementation of what is called support, Section 154 of the Constitution. This wasn't done just by the MEC, the current MEC, but by previous MECs, including MEC Paul Mashatile and MEC Uhuru Muilwa, who have communicated with the City of Tshwane on a number of occasions relating to where they were not conducting their affairs properly. It is clear to us as we speak today that the city is substantially failing to comply with the directives issued by the MEC, and the situation is getting worse every day. The provincial government has a constitutional responsibility and an obligation to the residents of the City of Tshwane to create stability and ascertain the continuity of service delivery in the city. That is our constitutional responsibility. As I promised, we will intervene decisively in any municipality when service delivery grinds to a halt and when this is clearly impacting on the well-being of residents. The provincial government is guided by the Constitution and various pieces of legislation, the Municipal Structures Act and the Municipal Systems Act, in the work we do, and this have to be enforced. And we particularly want to ensure that everything is done to address specific circumstances facing specific municipalities. Accordingly, the Gauteng Executive Council met yesterday afternoon on the 4th of March to assess developments in the City of Tshwane and to receive a report from the MEC on those directives that he issued in line with Section 1391A about what is it that the city has done to correct what we have identified as both systemic failure and the collapse of service delivery in the municipality. We took a decision out of that meeting to place the Tshwane Municipal Council, to dissolve the municipality and appoint an administrator until a new council is elected within 90 days. That's what the law says. That's what the Constitution says. So the first decision we're announcing to you is that we have decided to invoke Section 1391C. Having done all the other things we have done so far, we are taking this extraordinary measure to ensure that we correct the situation in the city, and we are invoking here Section 1391C of the Constitution of our Republic. This decision is informed by a number of issues: ongoing mismanagement in the city, firstly, flagrant disregard of the Municipal Finance Management Act, especially regarding procurement processes which have eroded good governance in the city, as can be evidenced by tender irregularities, particularly the Glad Africa and the recent Oregon tenders. Ongoing unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure flagged by the Auditor General, and it is clear that the city has been slow in effectively applying consequence management to deal with matters raised by the Auditor General. As we speak now, the city is failing to spend grants, conditional grants, and therefore losing money back to National Treasury. And that money gets reallocated to other cities across the Republic. At the same time, the financial position of the city is deteriorating. The city is facing serious challenges regarding inability to pay its creditors, and also the revenue collection is facing a serious decline in the city. There are ongoing irregular appointments of senior managers. Some of this has been highlighted in the media, and this has been happening continuously in the city, and the city takes forever to try and correct where provincial government has pointed to the city that you are not following proper regulations and law in the appointment of senior managers in the city. What is also true is that this is the only municipality in Gauteng since 2016 where there have not been ward committees. Now, you would know that ward committees are not a choice. It's not something the city decides to have. They are mandated by this Municipal Structures Act. So the City of Tshwane for almost 4 years now has not even endeavored to put in place ward committees. These are some of the issues that not just this MEC has been writing to the city about, but the two previous MECs during the fifth administration since 2016 have been writing to the city about some of these issues. We also have, amongst the key pointers of service delivery failure, is that the supply of clean drinking water in the city is severely compromised, and refuse collection is at its worst in the city. Some of you may not know that the City of Tshwane contributes 9% to South Africa's GDP and 25% to Gauteng's gross regional product. So this is no small municipality. It has a budget of almost 39 billion rands. So if this is not another small municipality, if a metro grinds to a halt in the way that the City of Tshwane has done, this has a huge bearing on the economy of our provinces. As I say, 9% to the country's GDP is the contribution of Tshwane, and 25% to the province's gross regional product. So this is a big municipality with a big budget, and currently this budget is not being spent, and some of the money is getting taken back by National Treasury. Across the city, in various communities, the complaint is very severe about the capacity of the city to respond to service delivery issues. So the municipality is currently incapable of carrying out its constitutional obligations. The municipality doesn't have a mayor as we speak, and there's no municipal manager. The council has failed to meet and consider matters that affect the functioning of the municipality and service delivery, including the matters that the MEC has referred to the municipality through the directive. So the directive, including those matters that the MEC has said the city must have a meeting and consider correcting those issues. Those issues have not been corrected. So the MEC has sent several correspondence to the city, on some occasions even tried to meet with the parties in the city. Some parties come to those meetings and the others don't come to those meetings. So that's why we have the situation continuing as it is. So the Gauteng Executive Council came to the determination that the current situation in the municipality constitutes these exceptional circumstances that warrant an intervention cited in Section 1391C of the Constitution, which will lead to the dissolution of the municipality and the appointment of the administrator. I want to say that to you that we take note of the veiled threats that have been issued out there by a particular party, and that's the threat of court action. And we will not be blackmailed as the Gauteng provincial government into silence and into inaction. We want to warn political parties not to play political games with the lives of the residents of the City of Tshwane. You know, parties have been given a chance for a while to deal with the issues in the city, and we follow what the Constitution and law says. So we can't sit back and when residents are restless. And one of the fears I have as the Premier is that we have had in the week in the run-up to the State of the Province address, we had 18 protest action in the City of Tshwane, 18 of them, just in 1 week. And one thing that worries me a great deal is that we can have an outbreak of lawlessness and violence and looting in the City of Tshwane. And who will be blamed? It will be the provincial government. It's not going to be those parties that are playing games in the city. It's not going to be an administration that uses every opportunity to avoid complying with the directives that have been issued. I will be blamed as the Premier of the province if there's a breakdown there of law and order and people take the law into their own hands, because that city is not just leaderless, it is rudderless. As we speak now, it's not just there's no leadership, but there is no direction. There is no service delivery in the City of Tshwane. So the current uncertainty, instability, inaction, and collapse of service delivery must be confronted fearlessly and stopped in its track. And it doesn't matter what threats are issued about going to court. We're doing things believing that this course of action we are taking today will pass constitutional muster or legal muster. The people of Tshwane must come first, and that's what we are doing as the Gauteng provincial government, to take these drastic steps in the best interest of the people of Tshwane. As we speak from today, after having made this decision yesterday, we are taking all the necessary steps in line with the Constitution and the law to give effect to this intervention that we are announcing. Some of that includes writing letters to the relevant authorities. The MEC will write a letter to the Minister of COCTA. We will also write relevant letters to the NCOP in accordance with this regulated intervention. We are not just going to appoint the administrator as of one person. We will appoint the administrator, but a team of very proficient administrators in various areas of expertise, service delivery, finance, and sorting out all the things that have made it difficult for the city to spend the current grants. There are municipalities in Gauteng that don't have the grants that the metros have. They can only marvel. There are district municipalities and local municipalities that are looking for this local government money. But these grants, as you would know, are given only to the metros, such as the Urban Settlement Development Grant, which the city has lost over half a billion of that, more than 500 million of that. There are local municipalities and district municipalities in this province that would only want half of the money that the metros are having. Half of the money that the city is failing to spend, if that money was to go into the districts and the local municipalities in Gauteng, it would make a big difference. And at the moment, the city is having this money returned to National Treasury. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's really the briefing we want to give to you this morning. I have heard also constant reference and threats to MEC Maile about if he makes an intervention. There's no MEC in the Constitution who takes decisions on Section 139. It's the Provincial Executive Council. I saw that even yesterday by the leadership of a particular party threatening that they will take him to court. There's no MEC who institutes Section 139. The Constitution says the Provincial Executive Council makes those decisions. He implements our decisions. And we've made these decisions having assessed fully what their implications are and the need for action. And MEC Maile is going to implement these decisions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Premier. Colleagues, by the show of hands, just say who you are and where you come from so that we can note. I'll just note the question. It's yourself, Natasha, you come number 2, number 3, and number 4. So let's take the first round of hands.
Premier MEC, my name is Lebogang Maile, Newsroom Africa. Considering that your party, the ANC, is the one that was involved in a lot of the unrest politically, how can you guarantee that this is not a political move or motivated by a desire to get a hold of Tshwane again?
Number 2, question.
I just wanted to clarify some question. So you mentioned that you'll be writing a letter to the Minister of Culture, but in no consultation before you actually made this decision with the Minister, because I mentioned in Cape Town, you guys were scheduled to meet this week, but according to, the spokesperson, haven't met. And then just a follow-up to Gauteng's question, perhaps your reaction to some political parties saying that you're using your power because you are, the governing party and you want to advance your interests as the ANC.
Number 3.
Lisa, that's how you're listening for. I just wanted to ask, or rather the NEC, when you sent a letter to Tshwane, to the City of Tshwane, what was their response to your intent for these interventions? And secondly, when it comes to
from a political news. Don't you want to speak for us what criteria you're going to use to appoint these proficient administrators? And then number two, if you can just disclose the timeline. When
Number one, number two, and number four is your second year, number three,
Okay, let me just start with the question. When you know which political party is accusing us of this, I say that coming out of the Western Cape, all the way to Gauteng and to Tshwane, to threaten us not to take action, when in the Western Cape they are taking action when there's municipal failure. It's a very interesting political game they are playing, and they will not succeed. I want to make it clear that to throw politics at that the ANC is doing this. If the ANC was playing game with this, let me tell you, to place a municipality under administration and to dissolve a municipality is not an easy decision, because there are councillors across all parties who are going to be affected. There's no game we are playing. We are not playing a game by taking. If we were playing a game, we would do Institute Section 1391B, which gives where we would still appoint an administrator and still be able to run the municipality possibly up to the next election in 2021, and knowing that the provincial government is in charge and the ANC is in charge. If we're playing games, we would have used a different, but because we are dealing with the depth of the situation, the depth of the crisis, and we don't want something that has to do with the ANC hijacking the administration, we are using 1391C to dissolve the municipality. Within 3 months, that's 90 days, there must be the legitimate authority in the municipality. The parties will go to elections. It's not for us. We are the government. We don't go to elections. The political parties will go to elections. The people of Tshwane will elect the party or the parties that must govern that city. We are not interested in that. We are dealing with the urgent issues. I sit here with MEC. We sit every day with complaints from various parts of the city, but you guys are just sitting and watching. Nothing is happening. And we have been counseling patience. So if you want to know, Natasha, I've been saying, be patient. We can't do certain things as the provincial government when we have not ensured first that the city is taken step by step to comply. So for quite a long time, the pressure has been on us. But we are satisfied now that having instituted Section 154, which is the work done by 2 previous MECs, including MEC Maile in the first few days of having come into office, and Section 1391A, which is what he instituted, and he'll explain what the municipality's response has been on the issues. He will say something in detail just now. Having done all those things, we are being advised that otherwise we would be accused as hijacking the municipality for the ANC interest. We are being counseled. We are being counseled to sit back and watch. That's this situation, this drama that is unfolding and unending. And who is advising us? We are told if you intervene, we will go to court. Just sit back and watch the unfolding drama, because otherwise, if you do so, we are not an illegitimate government. We are the provincial government of Gauteng. We operate in accordance with what the Constitution says we must do. It doesn't matter what a particular party says to us. They're saying to us, please, we are untouchable. It's an untouchable city because the DA is in charge. It's untouchable. If you do anything, we will go to court or we will accuse you of trying to hijack the city. We don't want to hijack the city. That's why we're choosing the option, after careful assessment, of placing the city under complete administration, but not forever, not for 12 months, not for 18 months up to the next election to advantage the ANC. No, we are doing this thing for 90 days so that after 90 days, the city has got a proper administration based on the will of the people of Tshwane, not based on the provincial government's wishes. That's why we are choosing this option. So those accusations are false, and I want to say to them, having come all the way into this province to go to a city, they want to tell us as the provincial government we must not act, whereas in the Western Cape, they are taking action everywhere where there is failure. That's totally unacceptable to me. The DA is in charge in the Western Cape. They are intervening. They are ensuring that where there is failure, we are intervening here based on our understanding of the Constitution. So those threats they are making, they can make those threats. We are not going to sit back and watch this unfolding drama. If something starts to happen in Tshwane, of the level of instability of what happened in the run-up to the elections in 2016, and residents start to take the law into their own hands, I can tell you, everywhere where there are protests, who goes there are administrators. So it's the officials of the city who are pitching in every activity. One of the reasons in Mamelodi with the flood victims we can't move, we have identified land there. There's even a budget set aside. I sent MEC Maile to go there. There's even a budget set aside for purchasing that land. But you cannot move without the city. To take certain actions must be effected by a local municipality for us to go to the next step. And the people in Mamelodi are blaming me every day about not moving them out of that place. But we can't do so with a dysfunctional city. But with the administrator, we were in Karankua Mabopane the whole week in the run-up to the State of the Province address. People there are pointing to basic things that a municipality is responsible for. We have even moved provincial government in some of the areas to resurface the local roads. With a city that has got a big budget, this is not a local municipality like Merafong or Lesedi or Midval. They have a big budget, but they can't spend this money. Why? Because the city is dysfunctional. And we can't sit back and be threatened with court action as if what we are doing is unlawful. We will meet them in court. I want to say that to them. We will meet in court. We are taking this action in the best interest of the people of Tshwane. So MEC can just explain some of the specific things he has been having trouble with. You know he's been threatened a lot himself.
Including with the vote of no confidence by the DA, as if we need them to have confidence in us. The MECs are appointed by the Premier, not by the legislature. So they have already decided that they will engage in an illegal action. That's how desperate they are. And that's why to conclude that the ANC led or is leading unrest in the municipality, it's not accurate. But if you say all political parties might be having whatever role, and we can discuss the extent of each political party's role. Because you will remember, we have had running battles with the municipality, including with the speaker, and we've had various processes in place to deal with the issues of disruptions in the municipality. So to say that the one party is only leading that, I think it's a view that has been, in fact, articulated yesterday by Mr. Steenhuisen, and I don't think it would be correct to say that. And to say is this, and I think the Premier has dealt with this issue, if this is an ANC agenda, because that's the same accusation, that we are deliberately and proactively sponsoring and participating in the disruption of council activities. I think that is it's not true. It's unfortunate, and I think it also deals with our integrity as the provincial government. To be accused of sponsoring lawlessness as a provincial government, I think it's something that we can't take light. And the leader of this other party will have to prove those allegations. And I don't think it's something that we'll just take light. You can't say we are at the forefront of sponsoring anarchy as a provincial government. It can't be correct. So it's one thing that I don't think we will just take light. And I'm sure, Premier, we should be, as a provincial government, demand that that said leader must, because it's tantamount to the dealing with our integrity, our image, and character assassination of the provincial government. So that's the first thing I want to say, because political leaders goes around saying things just for PR and for media purposes, and they are not interested in certain instances on the interest of our people. Whether we have consulted the Minister of COCTA, let me answer this question by saying we are always in discussion with the Minister of COCTA on the state of municipalities. We meet through various forums like MINMEC, we have bilaterals. On this specific matter, you cannot consult the minister until you take a decision. Yes. So there was no decision until yesterday. We couldn't have consulted the minister. We will only consult the minister from today because there is a decision of the Executive Council. The Premier explains that decisions to intervene in municipalities are not taken by MECs. And this other party understands that very well. But deliberately, they chose to try and isolate as an attempt maybe to intimidate me. That, no, you are doing this, you must not do this and all that. So it's important to put it on record and explain today that the decision was only taken yesterday, and we will, as per the directives of the law, consult the Minister of COCTA, consult, write to the Speaker of the Legislature, write to the National Chair of, the Chair of the National Council of Provinces. And I've dealt with some of these issues in our previous press conferences, including whether we are abusing our power and all that, and I have demonstrated how we have not abused our power, in how we have dealt with DA-led municipalities, because we're being accused of targeting them. And we have demonstrated over time, many press conferences, even in how we interacted with them, that we have been very lenient in certain instances, very cautious, and we have been driven by the spirit of cooperative governance, intergovernmental relations, and that we have been interested in service delivery more than party politics as a provincial government. And we have avoided to put party politics first, but to put the people of our province. And by the way, I must explain that in Gauteng since '94, this is the second municipality to be dissolved. The first was an ANC-led, Nukengza Taimani at the time. Yes. This is because to take, as the Premier explains, to dissolve a municipality, and you can't accuse us of playing games when what it means, by the way, in simpler terms, is that all councillors are now out of the job. They are unemployed. They must stay at home. And this includes ANC councillors.
They must go and rerun.
They must go and rerun and campaign in their communities, because they had an opportunity to serve the people and they choose to play games. And we are saying, as the provincial government, irrespective of what political party you come from, we are not going to be lenient wherever this happens. And then the issue about the response, what is this, the directives. Firstly, we wrote, and when we sent the letter first time, the speaker, in her personal capacity, without consulting with anyone, wrote a letter saying they don't agree, the speaker. And then we took a decision to issue directives to cancel, because you must remember that the executive authority and the legislative authority in a municipality rests with the council, not with the speaker, not with the mayor. So the directives were to the municipality, and the council did not meet to look at the directives and respond. The speaker requested for an extension, despite the fact that we knew that the extension is not requested by the council. We still granted that extension. After granting them extension, they responded, or well, rather, she responded. And in her response, she just gave us files, and it was not a proper response. So in simpler terms, the City of Tshwane did not respond to the directives that we issued, which is contravention of the law. Lastly, what is the criteria of appointing the administrator, and what are the timelines? Let me explain it like this. Firstly, we're going to put, the Premier explains here that we're going to put a team, and this team will be multi-skilled. Multidisciplinary. It's going to be experienced, seasoned administrators. We are going to look at all the areas of weaknesses. Some of them have been articulated in the statement. We need engineers, we need procurement specialists, we need people who are good in finance and all that. So that team is going to be people who are qualified. So rest assured, the qualifications must be proper. We won't take chances. We won't have bodybuilders and people who don't know what they're doing. So that is the first commitment we are making. But the second one is that the team will be announced, and when we announce the team, we will call you and announce the team. But when we announce the team, we don't want to just announce the team. We want to give that team a mandate of what are the things that they're going to do within 90 days. And the things that must be done within 90 days must be based on the capacity that the municipality has, the capacity that we can help them with, the capacity that other national agencies and departments can help us with. So we need a day or two to sit. One of the things we will do is to convene all the senior managers in Tshwane, to sit with them, look at the institution, what is happening, budget issues and all the issues, so that when we come to you and the public, we will announce a comprehensive plan that the administrator or administrators will implement. So we are not just going to appoint people and say, go in and see what we're going to do. We're going to tell them there's an issue of waste collection. This is what we want you to do. These are the time frames. There's issue of water in Hammanskraal. This is what we want to do and all that. So we will come to you with a comprehensive plan. For now, we took a decision as the Premier has announced, and that decision is going to be communicated to the relevant stakeholders and the certain timeframes. We will explain to you in detail how the process is going to unfold and how the decision is going to be implemented. For now, we were announcing the decision as the Premier has done on behalf of the provincial government.
May I just say we want all this process of concluding the team and giving them a very clear mandate and a program of action will be concluded within 7 days. So within 7 days, so this week, today and tomorrow is informing the relevant authorities and starting. We will also work with the National Department of COCTA on putting together the team. They are making interventions in different municipalities across the country. So on putting together the team so that it is indeed comprehensive and multidisciplinary, MEC Maile will work with them and the DG in the province and the head of department who's sitting somewhere there, the head of department, the MEC and the DG in the office of the Premier will work with our National Department of COGTA in putting together this team. And within 7 days, this team will be in the city. So when it is announced and unveiled, the MEC will do so in the city to unveil this team within 7 days from now.
Thank you very much. Let's take the last three hands, and then that's it because there's a budget. You'll be number one, number two, number three. Let's just deal with the follow-up afterwards.
Jacob from MEC, when you say the councillors were playing games, are you including ANC councillors? And secondly, did your party always put the interests of the people first in Tshwane?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Goldman from ENCA. In the statement you've outlined here your decision, which is informed by the ongoing mismanagement of the city, but we know that there's a disputed state of affairs in the City of Tshwane where the coalition government's councillors don't agree that, for example, they failed to spend the grants. They say they've provided sufficient reasons why they haven't spent it, and they believe that there is adequate response to the crises that you've mentioned. In the absence of an agreement on this, are you going to defend these reasons in the court? Are you not going to disagree with your reasons? And then on the elections, how do you think the going to fresh elections will affect the running of the city if the ward councillors have been, I presume, now campaign and then soon thereafter having to go to 2021 elections and dissolving the council not create more instability than producing the election?
This is a guy again, News 24. Premier, just put on your ANC hat. The NWC met on Monday and they gave you three options, which was to form a coalition with the EFF and to either put this municipality on administration or to, I can remember the third one, but why did you opt for this option? And the City of Tshwane's regional chair, Umaye, has suggested a multi-party government. I just wanted to ask, what was your thinking around this?
Okay, now let's go to the chair of government.
Hi, sorry, Tori from Business Day. Premier, I just wanted, on a point of clarity, can you say specifically, like, is it today that the councillors dissolve? When will the councillors be out of their jobs, if you can place it in the most casual layman's terms, I suppose? And then just also to add on to Govan's question with regards to the local government elections coming up in 2021, if you have to go to fresh elections in 90 days, you'll probably be exactly a year before, like if the local government elections are in August, it's very tight timelines. Don't you think you should have just gone for Section D then, instead of to do this, because it's extremely tight? Yes, thank you.
Let's make one from now.
I just wanted to find out, the DA yesterday announced that the continuing the 5-year term and discussion this is in regards to the coalition government. As the ANC chairperson, are you aware of discussions that are taking place between the regional ANC as well as the provincial and national provincial as well as the national of the DA? So CME's yesterday announced that they don't want to ANC so are you willing to enter into those opinions?
Let's just make one thing clear. If you want a press conference of the ANC, please say so. the ANC will speak for itself. I am very clear in my head, and I've always been. I don't mix the party and government issues. When I wear the hat of the Premier, I'm clear, and you guys have tried in a few press conferences to ask me questions about the ANC. I used to speak for the ANC as a secretary before, and I was clear that I was speaking for the ANC. I'm the Premier, MEC Maile is the MEC, we are speaking as government. The ANC will have its own say, and if you want to ask the ANC specific issues, please ask the ANC those specific issues. So I want to make it clear that when I am doing government work, I don't want to be asked about the ANC because you are going to trap us into a logic, a mode of thinking that we are doing what we are doing because we are pursuing a party political agenda. Yes, our political system, yes, is driven by parties. But when we are elected into government, we are not carrying a narrow party political agenda. Yes, we have the manifesto of the ANC. That's the governing party in Gauteng. We implement it without fear or favor. That's what the agenda of what we do in Gauteng is set by the ANC because it is the governing party. But when we are in positions of authority and positions of responsibility as elected officials, we are not going to be drawn into carrying party political agenda. And that's why I would say, right from what the NWC discussed, please ask the ANC spokesperson in Gauteng. We are acting on the basis of the facts before us. And we have the authority by the Constitution. So if you want to ask who can make a decision to place the municipality under administration, it's the Provincial Executive Council. It is the provincial government. And that's what we did. We had a meeting yesterday because over a period of time, we have been asking MEC Maile as the political head of the Co-operative Governance and Traditional Affairs Department to report to us. So those are the only bases on which we are acting. And that, again, if you want to ask what the ANC's views are, and then you say what the ANC chairperson of Tshwane was saying, multi-party government, this. You know what we do? We are government. So the parties can discuss and negotiate, cut their own negotiations and deals as the parties. I never bring in those discussions what the government will do. So when I am in the discussions with the IFP or with any other party, we discuss as the parties. But when I am acting it as the premier of the province, I look at what does the Constitution empower us to do? And then we make decisions based on that. So that's why I am saying questions about what ANC meeting said, what the ANC chair said there. Please, the secretary of the ANC in this province is Jacob Kawe. And as you know, the secretary general is Ace Mahashule, you know them. If you want to ask questions about discussions of ANC meetings and any discussions the ANC had with the political parties, other political parties, discuss that with them. We are the government of all the people of Gauteng. And when things don't work, as they are not working now, somebody needs to say to us, things are working in Tshwane. When things don't work, we have to do what we've got to do, and that's what we are doing. So if there are parties that are disputing the facts of what is the state of the city, I suspect it's those in charge, and they are just protecting their interest of being in charge. I'm not surprised. So I'm not surprised that it's not nice to be dissolved as a municipality. So they want to be in charge even when they're in charge of nothing, when nothing is happening. They want to remain there even when they are implementing nothing about sorting out the people's problems in the city. So I don't have to convince them about this. As the Premier and the Executive Council team, and specifically the MEC responsible for this area of work. We have looked at the law. We have obtained senior counsel advice, legal opinion. Under these circumstances, what do you do? And we have taken a decision. Leadership is about making decisions. Whether we are right or wrong is a different thing. History will judge us about that. But at the very least, you can't be a leader that's afraid of making decisions. We can't make a decision because they are threatening to take us to court. No, we will not do that. You can't be a leader when you are watching things are deteriorating beyond redemption, as the situation is. And we are only going to come in later. We can't do that. So we must be found to have taken a decisive decision in the best interest of the people. Will the elections, I think this issue, all we are saying for now is that the Constitution dictates that when you take a decision, when you invoke 1391C, to dissolve the municipality, you put in an administrator pending the elections. That whole process itself has a way that it is governed. There's a political process about the parties going to an election. Let me tell you what my concern is. In 3 months, MEC, in the next 90 days, we want to ensure that there's administrative stability. There can't be political stability because there's no political leadership in it. But what our interest is, we want to ensure there is administrative stability. So that head of department of COCTA will spend an adequate amount of time supporting this team we are putting in place, so that within 3 months, so the issue about whether this is not going to affect the running of the city, in fact, at the moment, there is no running of the city. So the intervention and the administrator and the team we will put in there is to help us see real progress. We want the water situation in Hammanskraal to be sorted out. We want the basic things across the city about service delivery, waste management, refuse removal, resurfacing of the roads. We have had rains in this province. As you would know, across the province, our roads are damaged. Everywhere, people are sending us messages every day. That road, there's a big pothole. So we want, because the city has the capability, the budget to do so, we want those roads to be resurfaced. So the administration, these administrators, their main job will be to ensure that they go into the various communities as administrators, no politicians involved in this, to go and help us sort out the issues that need to be sorted. But they must also sort out the institution. The institutional issues that MEC Maile has identified in the directives, wrong decisions being made on appointments, continuously wrong decisions being made on appointments, those things must be sorted out. So the elections is a political process. In our view, it can affect the administrative process that we have put in place. The elections is for the political parties to go and sort it out. So they face the electorate and account to the electorate about their own actions, but their own offerings as well. And we don't want to enter that as the provincial government. Don't even ask us about the ANC as your party. There's no party here. We represent the government. We don't represent any party. And the ANC can speak for itself very, very eloquently. I know the ANC is able to speak for itself. The DA's issue around what the coalitions and being ready to get married, I hear you say, you use that word. Talk to the DA. We are interested only in the administration of state affairs. What they do, what their intentions are, who they get married to, it's their own business. We are not interested in that. It's the issue for political parties. We are dealing with the affairs of the state. Will everybody be happy about your decision? We are not looking for happiness, especially from the political parties. We are not looking for them to be happy about this. We are interested in one thing. We want to create certainty and stability in that big city of our province, which contributes to 25% to the Gauteng economy. All the plans I unveiled on the 25th of February during the State of the Province address, GGT 2030, Growing Gauteng Together. Those plans cannot take place if Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, and Tshwane are not implementing them. So if it was a small municipality, the impact would not be the same. It would be the impact on that small space there. The impact on a metro is huge. And the number of people, by the way, there's almost 3 million people in Tshwane. The latest stats, the population estimates say hovers around 3 million people. So this is a big impact municipality. So that's really what, on our side, that's our take. MEC, if there's anything you have to say.
Except that today we're announcing the decision. So it's clear the Executive Council has taken a decision. The next step, we will unpack that decision, explain it in terms of the process, those 14 days things, the administrator, what is the plan of action. That will be the next step. All other things are clear. And when we speak, as the Premier said, we are not speaking on behalf of the ANC. And when we say councillors, so all councillors, we are not saying councillors of this party or not that party. And I've dealt with that issue in the beginning as well, about the extent of each party's contribution can be debated. But the fact is all political parties there have contributed to where we are. As to who is to be blamed more or what, that's not the issue now. The issue is the council is not functioning and the service delivery is affected. Therefore, we must act, and that's what we are doing.
Thank you very much, Premier.
Council has dissolved this.
We've got the constitutional authority to dissolve the council, and we are announcing that today. Yeah. So the council of the City of Tshwane is dissolved as we speak.
No. We will. I don't think we will speak.
No, we're saying to you, within 7 days is about appointing the administrator and the team. We are saying that to you. Within 7 days, we would have completed this, and the announcement will be made by the MEC on behalf of the Executive Council. I still want to emphasize, when he does so, he consults with me on every step of what he does. And those who want to target him and think that it is just stuff out in his head, it is a result of our decisions.
No, your question. No, she asked the question in one meeting if I've consulted the Premier. So your question is answered.
Thank you very much for coming and honoring the.
Sure.